Bonsoir, il fait 18h45. Vous êtes le bienvenu sur South Africa Tonight. Voici le rapport de sport. Former Bafana Bafana coach Pitso Mosimane has started an initiative to fast-track football development at school level. So what is the Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools? Is it an academy, a program that visits different schools? Well, joining us to answer all these and other questions is head coach Augustine Makalakalane and Moira Tlhagale, who is MD of the Pitso Mosimane Soccer Schools. Good evening, lady and gent. My apologies for being French-speaking and not able to get your surname right, Mr. Augustine. Welcome to ENCA. How are you tonight?
Thank you very much. I'm very well.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. Moira, if we can start with you, what makes the PMSSS so special and different from any other developmental football institutions?
Thank you so much for inviting us, and we are really honored to be able to, today in particular, be able to talk about Pitso Mosimane Soccer School. The key objective of the school from Coach Pitso Mosimane's point of view is that he believes that as South African we are struggling in the soccer fraternity. And he said that instead of us all looking at Bafana Bafana in particular and laughing at ourselves, he would want to be one of those counted to have contributed positively in ensuring that we improve our soccer in South Africa. And that being given, he said he believes that the most important starting point is with a young child. And that is why the program of the Pitso Mosimane Soccer School focuses on young children from the age of under 6. And it is not an academy, it is a soccer school, because the focus there is to try and improve the technique of playing soccer with our children from a very young age.
But what's been the reason or the contributing factor to not being able to unearth new talent in South Africa, especially because we've got so much in the country? And how does the school that you said is not the academy come in and change all of that?
We just believe with the research that we've done that we have not as a country been very consistent in how we do our soccer development. And we believe that that we're doing with the Pitso Mosimane Soccer School may just be a drop in an ocean. I think a lot of other individuals can do something similar so that we can bring the soccer back to where it belongs as South Africans. I think if you think about it, in the years ago when Coach Makalakalane used to be players, we didn't have a lot of playstations or any other extramural activities that our children today have. So I think right now we've got to be quite deliberate and intentional in ensuring that we've got programs that are consistent from a very young age, and we take these children up to, when they are adults. So Coach Pitso's mandate to us is that he wants in the next 12 years, if you think about an under 6, he wants from in the next 12 years, when we've got an 18-year-old, that child should be able to be judged based on the fact that we started with them at the age of 6 years.
Wow, well said, Moira. Coach, if I can bring you in, of course, just as Moira said, you plied your trade overseas for so many years. What is at the core of development football, and how can we get development football right in South Africa, especially through the Pitso Mosimane Soccer School?
Yeah, well, look, we have gone overseas. With Coach Pitso, we played overseas. We played at the highest level in South Africa. We had a stay in power. We were very consistent without all this development that are here. And then our players now, they cannot sustain being overseas.
Is that because of a lack of academies or sporting schools, or we just don't understand what developmental football is from a South African perspective? Perhaps that's the case.
Yes, that's also the case. Development is a very big word. Everybody's doing development. There are a lot of academies. I call them hijack academies sometimes because they've hijacked actually the development philosophies of development and the principles of we don't have to clone our children and make them mini adults. Let's treat them like children. Let them be developed holistically.
Yes.
The approach has to be from Coach Pitso Mosimane. Create a player of tomorrow. And for me, that was very, very critical. I said I cannot miss this opportunity because as a youngster, I never had this kind of opportunities.
All right.
Yes.
Having said that, Coach Augustine, how important is the relationship between coach and player, especially because by the time you are, at your under 18 level, as Pitso Mosimane would like to, has envisioned in the soccer school, would like to see any of those young players coming through the system and eventually becoming a powerhouse in the national team?
Yes. Look, you need to create a player of tomorrow in the sense of Coach Pitso Mosimane, because he's got consistent in it. He's a global coach. He's gone around, he's proven himself, and he's still proving himself as a global coach. Wow. So we need to create this kind of player for the philosophy. It will enhance and help create opportunities for the children. I mean, when we grew up, there was no competition. In my township today, there's a lot of competition. There's cricket, there's rugby. We only play football. We only know football.
Wow.
And we have developed from that. So I think this is a greatest opportunity for him to go back to the schools and say, let's get this young talent, let's unearth this talent, let's develop a player of tomorrow. Player of tomorrow for me and for Coach Pitso Mosimane is a player that can be coached. You mentioned the coaching now. That can be coached by anybody, any other coach. Pepe Guardiola, Coach Pitso Mosimane, Coach Steve, or any other coach in the rest of the world. This is a player that he wants us to help his vision to come through, creating a player of tomorrow that will help a player to be holistically developed.
Wow.
And given opportunity.
Wow. Moira, let's speak about women in sports. Does the school cater for young girls to participate in women's football, especially because discrimination has been, the story of the day when it comes to women's football, and also not being on par with the rest of their male counterparts?
Yeah, I think one of the key mandate also given to us by Coach Pitso is that in the next 12 years, he would like to see 80% of Bafana Bafana and Banyana being players that come out of this program. So we have been very deliberate in recruiting our players, that the girls are involved. I must tell you, the interest from young girls, it's really a big
Yes.
in terms of how many of them are interested in playing soccer, even versus a netball, which is a big thing for all girl children, because most of us only really played netball. So definitely there is that opportunity. What we've just found, though, is that for us as MT Sports, in looking for coaches, we are struggling to get female coaches. So in the next few months, you will see we'll have a drive of looking only for women who are interested in being coaches, and together with the assistant of SAFA, focusing on women who wants to be coaches, so that we balance also with the girl children that are with us, that they have people that they can look up to.
Coach Augustine, we've run out of time. I'm going to give you the closing question. How healthy is your relationship, of course, the soccer school, the relationship between the soccer school and SAFA, and what impact has SAFA made on the soccer school?
SAFA has made a huge impact. I'm still a SAFA instructor. I'm a FIFA instructor. I'm a CAF instructor. So that works well. I'm a teacher by profession. So that program helps all in its entirety. I need SAFA, PMSS needs SAFA, SAFA needs us to help them drive this development project.
Thank you very much. That's Coach Augustine Makalakalane and, of course, MD Moira Tlhagale, just speaking about the Pitso Mosimane Soccer School and just what the school has been doing in terms of unearthing talents that is in the South African football landscape. All right.